In this video, I'll be teaching you how to paint a watercolor sunset, so let's grab our materials, let's get started, and let's begin. We'll be starting this painting off by going and prepping a piece of watercolor paper. Now, I have a little tiny piece that is cut and taped down, but you can use a full page if you'd like to. Prep your watercolor paper and always make sure your watercolor paper is slightly damp. Now take some yellow and then blend that into the paper with a little bit of orange. From there, you're just going to move the paint up along with also blend the orange and yellow together. Now add a little bit of red, add some water onto your paintbrush, and then blend all of the color together. From there, you're going to let the paper dry just slightly, dampen the top part again, and then go and dampen the bottom portion as well. Add a little bit of blue to the top, add blue to the bottom, dampen the bottom again, and now add a bit of a darker blue. Use a streaking motion to go and create a bit more movement in this piece. When it dries, it's going to leave streaks and it's going to look a little bit more like water. Go and dab the center before the blue dries. Make sure the watercolor paper is still slightly damp, and then put down a little bit of yellow. This is going to be the reflection for the sun that you're going to be painting in a little bit. Use a streaking motion, put an orange line on the horizon, and then go and blend that orange slightly. Use a streaking motion with this. This is going to give a little bit more of kind of a cloudy look to the top portion. And also to make sure you're going slow, just keep in mind your paper should be wet while you're doing this, so you can go and easily spread the paint out and so it won't fully and totally stain an area. Spread out on the top with water to go and lighten it, and keep it pretty dark at the bottom. Continue to go and spread the color so it's evenly everywhere. Now take orange and put it on the bottom of where the water's going to be. This is going to give it a little bit more of a reflection. Keep in mind every time you put color at the top, you want to reflect it at the bottom. Now put dark blue into the sky, and put the blue into patchy areas so you don't fully and totally cover the orange, yellow, or red. Now put blue at the bottom, use a streaking motion. This is going to go and create shadow for some of the area where the water is. You still want to go and leave in the middle a lighter blue. And the paper should only be slightly damp. Go and add a yellow sun into the middle. So just some watercolor paint into a circle. Make sure this circle dries just because you don't want to go and spread it too much. Add a reflection as well, and then continue to put darker blue around everywhere. Keep in mind this should be pretty splotchy in the sky, but at the bottom it should be just spread out as much as you can. Continue to stack color. Making and painting watercolor paintings is all about stacking color and slowly darkening the area. From there, make sure the bottom is still wet, and what you're going to do is use a smaller brush to create streaks. These streaks are going to be the water lines, and what you're going to do is it's going to be darker at the bottom, and slowly you're going to get lighter at the top. So make sure you're using a lot more paint at the bottom, and just kind of go slowly up to the top, creating streaks. Make sure there's a little bit of distance between each streak, and as you slowly go up, you're going to be taking paint off of the paintbrush and just dispersing it evenly. Make sure to go across the horizon, and then after you've put that line there, you're going to go back and make little squiggly lines. These are going to be for waves, and it's going to give this painting a lot more motion. And let this bottom section slightly dry. Now in the upper area, we're going to create clouds. Take some white watercolor paint and go and use a dabbing motion. You should go and have lighter and darker areas. Lighter areas towards the bottom, darker areas towards the top. It just really depends on exactly how the sun is going to be hitting this or how you'd like it to look. From there, after your clouds are dry, create a black line across the horizon. Now add little bumps. These are going to be mountains along with pretty much any sort of just mountainous range that might be in the back. But if you're at the beach, you might not really see too many mountains or hills or anything like that, so keep that in mind. After that is down, you're going to go and make a reflection of this. So the bottom is going to look almost exactly the same, except it's going to be lighter. And for the bottom, what I'm using is I am using a really, really dark purple. You might not want to go with black just because the water, keep in mind, is a blue. And if you use black, it might just not look that natural. Now blend this out with a little bit of water because, of course, a reflection is going to have movement. Now on to making some little ships. A half circle, along with also some lines for the ship. After that is down, you're going to want to make sure you put a reflection for this as well. So take some of the paint that you still have in your paintbrush and create a squiggly line for where the mast would be. Continue to add boats and also little details. If you really want to, you can go and add some seagulls or pretty much anything that you would want to in the background or anything that you'd want to be putting into the water that would be floating. For example, little buoys or maybe some more ships. Whatever you would like to do, this is your own painting. And of course, just keep in mind for the sunset, my sunset's on the water. So I want to put some boats, buoys, birds, everything like that. And after all of that detail is down, go and make clouds for the reflection by just adding a little bit of white paint to your paintbrush and watering it down. Now make sure everything is fully dry and slowly remove the pieces of tape from the side if you tape down your piece. This is what my piece looks like, and your piece can look very similar. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, have a great one and take care.